Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the weekly Levinson and Associates training webinars. Okay, so real quick, take out a pen and paper, as always. Jot down any notes, questions, comments. We want to hear from you. We also have a question box on the right-hand side there. Typically, it should be in the bottom or top of your screen. And as we go, if there's anything that you don't want to forget or you want an answer right away, just type in the question. Andrew will do his best to answer all questions in real time as soon as possible. So make sure you do that. If we don't get right back to you, we will answer every single question by the time we are done. Plus, everyone on the webinar today will get a thank you email before the day is up, and we'll include all of the incentives, how to get started, a few brochures. We'll share some testimonials, and of course, the cash and leads for contracting. So if you do not receive that by the time the day is up, that means we have your incorrect email address. So please call us and let us know what the correct email is, or just call in or check your junk folder. Okay, there's a lot of times you have to give us the green light in order to go in your inbox. So either way, if you don't receive it, there's a problem. Okay, jumping right in here, what we're doing today is we have our social media guru on. Ken French is joining. And I wanted everyone to basically get the 100-foot overview on how to drive traffic, right? How to drive traffic back to your site. What should your website look and feel like, right? How to leverage social media to drive traffic. What should you be posting and how often should you be posting? Okay, just basically the 100-footer on do's and don'ts for building a business, especially during a pandemic. This is key to any, in fact, this was key to any business before the pandemic, but now even more so. Okay, so very, very, very important. And you know, I use this all the time, and I'll give you an example. You know, let's just say we have, you know, Lisa and Billy, and Lisa is a veteran agent that's been around for, you know, 30, 40 years, and, you know, she sells the whole city and her neighborhood life insurance, right? And what happens is Lisa winds up selling a policy, let's say a 20-year term policy, to a neighbor, and everything is fine, and the years go on, and then that same neighbor, right? Let's say that same neighbor sees an email blast about long-term care insurance, okay? And Billy is a younger guy, very aggressive on social media and e-blasting, and he's sending out these emails every single week or every month or every other week that say, hey, not only do I handle life insurance, but I also handle long-term care insurance as well. And I'm constantly sending my message out there and getting my name in front of everybody, okay? Even though this neighbor has a better and a great relationship with Lisa, her original writing agent that wrote the term policy, Billy was more aggressive in getting his emails out. And on the bottom of his emails that he sends out every week, it says, contact me for life insurance, long-term care, annuities, disability, critical illness, okay? Well, guess what? The neighbor saw that ad and wound up buying the long-term care policy from Billy, even though the neighbor never even met Billy face-to-face, only online, okay? And guess what? It's Lisa's fault for not getting her message out there consistently and persistently, right? So let's think about this. And it's so important. When you think about Lisa and the neighbor, Lisa turns up, she runs into the neighbor in the grocery store, and the neighbor says to Lisa, hey, I just bought a long-term care policy. And Lisa says, well, why didn't you buy it from me? You know that I handle long-term care. And the neighbor says, no, I thought you only handled life insurance. Well, guess what? Of course the neighbor is going to buy from long-term care Billy because Lisa wasn't aggressive enough. So that's just a little sample of why this stuff is so important. And it's up to you all to make sure that you're putting your right foot forward. And even though it's difficult in the beginning and it seems like you're not getting anywhere because you only have one like or comment, it's okay, because it's one like or comment more than you had the last month, let's say, or 6 months ago, right? And the one like turns into 10, which turns into 20, and it goes on and on from there. And I know for a fact that this works because that's how Levinson and Associates was built. Okay, the last 22 years when I started. That's exactly how we grew from 300 agents, literally, to over 19,000 in every city in the US, was because of an online presence, e-blasting, and social media. Okay, it's not rocket science. I'm going to give you another example real quick, and I don't mean to hold up everyone that's on the call, but I think this is very, very important. This just came up yesterday. So just think about this for a second. This is a true story. The Lisa Neighbor Billy long-term care story was just an sample, let's call it. But this is a true story that just happened a week ago. Okay. Okay. Now, I have a very good friend of mine. Okay. We'll call him Peter. Okay. So, but by the way, the company that I'm speaking of is a real life company, and obviously a real life 100% factual story. The only thing I'm changing is my friend's name. Okay, so we'll call him Peter. So I've known Peter for, let's see, about 10, 15 years. Okay, I used to ride Harleys with Peter, as a matter of fact. So Peter was always good on the computer, and he's a sharp guy. Okay, but never went to college. In fact, he dropped out of high school in 10th grade and got his GED. Okay, fine, no problem. Let's put that aside for a second. So I when I first met Peter, we always would talk about different businesses and business ideas, and he wants to be successful, and what kind of motivation can I share with him to inspire him so he could put his right foot forward, right, and build a business. So we always talk, probably every few months, we keep in touch. And it turns out Peter started a new business. Okay, it's been about just under 10 years, so about 8 years ago now. So he starts this new business, and this business, and when you think about what we do, right, to help these families, right, in tough situations, I think is so important, right? I mean, the value there is tremendous, especially with like living benefits, and you think about long-term care products and disability, critical illness, or a husband or a wife passes on and the two young kids are left, and obviously they want to stay in their house, and getting a tax-free death benefit check is priceless. And you were the superhero, right, that came along and handed the $500,000 check when this family was in need. So in my opinion, there's a ton of value there, right? And it's up to us to draw the picture and get the message across to these prospects, okay? And we need avenues to do that, right? And that's when I think about a website, social media, e-blasting, etc. Okay, now here, what Peter did, think about this. He created a business, okay, with nothing, out of nothing, okay? Now, you're probably saying, Bill, you're crazy today. What's going on? No, that's the truth. He created a business, okay, and what Peter does is he put together 3 certificates, okay? Think of it literally a piece of paper. He made it look very official. It's a certificate, and it's basically a gimmick. It's a gimmicky product, okay, called Lunar Land, lunarland.com. That's the name of the business, okay? So you say to yourself, okay, what does Peter do? He goes out and he sells a certificate, okay? And the certificate is a deed, so you can buy your own piece of space, basically, okay? Lunar Land. So you buy this certificate, it's $18, and you get a very professionally looking deed and a certificate from Lunar Land, and it has your name, whoever bought the certificate. It says, it looks just like buying a piece of property, okay? It looks like an official deed, and it says, this is officially deeded to Bill Levinson or Levinson and Associates. In fact, I'm going to take a picture and put it on our Facebook page when we're done. Okay, but here's the point. You're still saying Bill is crazy today, but here's the point behind this. So he basically put together, and it's not BS, okay, because it's gimmicky. It's a cute way to give out gifts. It's very inexpensive, and it's a conversation starter. It's a conversation piece. So he built this business 8 years ago. Okay, today he's making. By the way, his income is increasing about 10 to 20% since he started the company. Okay, he's making between 150,000 a year and 200,000 a year consistently, selling pieces of space. Okay, selling deeds, real estate on the moon. Okay, so now just think about this for a minute. Now you're saying, oh my gosh, there's no way this guy's making that kind of money. Like, was this a scam? You know, what's going on? Okay. No, what Peter did is he learned how to program. He learned how to create SEO. He learned AdWords. He learned social media. He learned how important it is to have a website presence. He learned all about e-blasting and what his audience looks like, right? He learned how to code himself. So the point is, he's going out there and making at least 6 digits a year selling these certificates of pieces of the moon, okay, of a deed of the moon, which is like crazy, right? You say to yourself, this is nuts. No, it's not nuts. And here's my point behind the story is, if you can figure out the basics of a website, of social media, of driving traffic, of e-blasting, I'm not saying become a programmer, okay, but you're selling lots and lots of value to these families in need, okay? That's tremendous. If Peter can go out there and figure out how to make 6 digits a year by selling certificates of pieces of the moon, okay, we can all do it for life insurance. This isn't rocket science, folks. Okay? And what's crazy is we went to dinner a week ago, and yesterday I'm sitting at my office and I get this big box, right, in my office, and I open it up and it's 3 framed, basically, it's a deed. And it says, Bill Levinson, congratulations, here's your real estate on the moon. And it shows another picture of the moon and where your real estate is. And I said to myself, wow, this is clever, you know, but I'm thinking at the end of the day, what is he really selling here? You know, it's a gimmick, it's a conversation piece. And I started thinking about the story, and I'm like, you know what? We have this webinar tomorrow with Ken. It's all about social media, driving traffic, a website. Look what Peter created out of nothing. And look at the kind of money he's making, right? He sits in his room all day long in a black room with the door locked. He has his mom and dad literally boxing up these framed deeds and shipping them out all day long. For Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, he doesn't come out of his room, he said, for like 6 weeks because he's that busy. And guess what is the biggest source is for his income? It's Groupon. Okay, everybody knows what Groupon is. But again, here's a guy with a 10th grade education that built this big business out of nothing, okay, with nothing, zero startup. He learned, he was focused, he was dedicated, and he knew it was going to take time, but he said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And that's 90% of his income today. It's called Lunar Land. So anyway, I wanted to share that story. And I guess, you know, the moral here is we can all do this. If we start small, think big, we're giving you all of the tools, right, to go out there and get your name and brand out there. You start slow, be persistent, consistent, and little by little, you're going to build and you're going to get a referral or you're going to get a new sale from this. It won't happen overnight, okay? But little by little, it's going to work if you keep your foot on the gas, just like Peter has for the last 8 years. And again, you're selling a ton of value. Peter is selling a piece of paper that starts a conversation with someone's name imprinted on the deed, okay? So just remember that. I want you to always remember the story. Write it down. I don't care whatever it takes, but I don't want this to be one of those webinars where tomorrow at 2 p.m., you're on to the next thing and you say, oh, that was fun for 45 minutes, but I'm on to the next thing already. Remember these stories. It's so important. And this is a real story. You can look it up when we're done talking. So anyway, I wanted to share that. I think it's so important because it just shows that we can all do this, okay? It doesn't take a Harvard MBA degree to get your social media pages up and running, especially we're laying the foundation for you with Ken and his team. Okay, let's jump right in here. So real quick, this is a big campaign that we just launched called the Final Expense Experience. Now, you're going to see this all over the country. It doesn't matter where you are. You're also going to see this in Insurance News Net magazine in the December issue. So basically, just a few things I'm going to point out here and I think are very, very important. If you want to be involved in Final Expense, or if you already are, we can help you with some of these bullets. The first one is the $8 leads with a guarantee that you will sell at least 20% of the leads. We also have a brand new tool we rolled out last week. This is amazing. It is a Final Expense quote engine with all of our top carriers and products with real-time automated underwriting built in. So it tells you exactly where to go and what the quote is, depending on your client's health situation, and it's free. We're also going to have this available on the Levinson free mobile app. Okay, so take advantage of that. We have a bunch of other bullets that you're seeing in front of you. We'll include this in today's thank you email. But again, nobody has anything like this. And our technology, second to none. If I were you, I would start marketing this through your social media pages as early as this afternoon. I would get the word out there, especially with the scholarship program, with Legacy Armor, Legacy Safeguard, all of the sales platforms that you need, and it's all free as long as you're active with Levinson. Okay, moving forward here, this is one of our agents' websites. Just to give you a quick example, okay, this is Insure Me Now Direct, and basically what he's doing, he's going after small businesses, associations, and he's saying, hey, if you work with me, I can offer this to all of your members and give them all a free scholarship if they purchase from your site. Okay, lots of value add here. And on the right side, if you go to our Facebook page, not the Levinson page, but Insure Me Now Direct, we have a bunch of samples that you can co-brand. These are sample eBlast marketing pieces that you can co-brand with your name, logo, phone number, email, and literally just hit a button. Okay, I would send this out to all clients, friends, prospects, neighbors. Okay, remember, you don't want to be like Lisa and the neighbor, right? You want to be like Billy and get your name out there to everyone. So when the term insurance comes up, everyone remembers you. You're the go-to, not just for life, but for critical illness and cancer and LTC, even annuities, right? Always remember, you have to get your name out there, right? You've got to be top of mind. That's the way we look at it with agents. That's the way agents should look at it with prospects. Okay, let's move forward here. And by the way, as soon as Ken is done, we're going to have our question of the day at the end of the call. We're going to end right before 4 p.m. Eastern time. Whoever answers first and correctly wins a $50 Amazon gift card just in time for the holidays. Without further ado, we have Mr. Ken French, our social media and website guru. Ken, you there?
I am. Thanks, Bill. Thanks. Okay. So, guys, I appreciate everyone coming on today, and Bill gave a good introduction because I'm going to kind of go right off of what he said. Basically, what my goal is today is to really talk about how to put all the pieces together for your web presence. And that has really become the challenge today because, it's more than just having a website. It's more than just having a social media presence. Obviously, there's all these different pieces to the puzzle, and it's hard to know what to do with them. And I feel that I can be a great resource to all Levinson agents and kind of help you put the puzzle together. Basically, my story is I grew up in the insurance business back in the 90s. And back then, we used to have a family-owned business just like Levinson. My clients were independent agents who sold life insurance, health insurance, Medicare. And to make a super duper long story short, somewhere along the way, I thought it would be a smart idea to build a few websites myself to do marketing to and to generate leads. And I built some sites, I generated leads, I would go to my top producers and I would say, hey, thanks for putting business through us. Here's a few leads. And as time went on, those producers would kind of call me back up and say, well, it's 2003 now. I think I need my own agency website to look credible. Can you help me build that? So, I started to help a few guys, and a few guys turned into a few dozen. And next thing by the middle 2000s or whatever, we started to hire some programmers and real tech people. And next thing you know, we had a department within the company that helped our agents with technology. To make a super duper long story short, we ended up selling the business right before healthcare reform in 2009. My dad retired. All of the employees we had went to the company that bought us. But myself and my department, we formed our own incorporation and kind of kept doing what we were doing. And the reason I ramble on and mention this is it's important to know that I work with just independent insurance professionals with websites. And it has allowed me to really understand all of these pieces that you are faced with that could be part of a really good web presence. Like I said, whether it's your website, whether it's your social media pages, whether it's the Insure Me Now direct link, or whether it's some sort of scheduling software like Calendarly, or maybe a button to Zoom. All of these things, they're not for everybody, but they're things that you have to at least look at and say, hey, would this help me? Would this help me with my business? And, I think that that's where a lot of insurance agents are struggling right now is, it's one thing to try to build a website. It's another thing to try to incorporate 10 or 11 different technologies that you're getting pushed, they're kind of getting pushed on you. So, before I fail to, before I really start to get going here, for those of you that don't know, I do have a special alliance with Levinson. I do, my company specializes in working with independent agents, helping, build websites and helping you manage your social media presence. Feel free to go to levinson.snoozy.net while I'm talking today. And, you can look around at our services and see kind of what we do. But at the end of the day, I can't stress enough that the reason most agents are struggling is I guess the best way to put it is they prioritize one piece of the puzzle over the entire puzzle. You can't imagine how many times this year, especially with COVID, where my phone has rang and I've had an agent call me up and say, look, I was told I need to do Facebook advertising. And I was told that there's a lot of leads you can generate. And, I need help with that. Now, just as a side note, I offer kind of consulting on it. So, before I provide the consulting, I always kind of go through their situation and I'll say, okay, you want to do Facebook advertising. Great. What type of product are you trying to market? Well, I'm trying to market, term insurance. Okay. Do you have a website for your agency? Well, no, I don't. Do you have a Facebook business page for your agency? Well, no, I don't. So then I sit there scratching my head and I say, well, wait a minute. How are you going to get any results with Facebook advertising? Well, I heard from a friend of a friend that there's this guy who just gets leads and he spends $500 a month, and that's what I want to do. Well, you would be surprised how many times I got that phone call this year. And, every time I tried to kind of talk these guys back into some sense, because the reality is, and I wasn't the greatest science student, but one of, the great minds used to say every action has a reaction, right? So when you do advertising, that's an action. And the person who sees your advertisement is going to react. So I guess my point is this, if we're specifically talking about Facebook advertising, it's been around for a long time. We're going on 5 years. Okay. This didn't start yesterday. And the thing I always try to explain to guys producers who are trying to get involved with it is I say it's competitive. And there's people who've been doing it for 5 years and they have developed very complex strategies to get results. So you can't just step up to the plate and hit a home run. You gotta come in here with a game plan. And when you do, the first thing you have to understand is let's say you do an advertisement, right? You put it out there. It goes out to the target market you want to present to. The consumer is not just going to fill out your form, or they're not just going to go to your Insure Me Now direct portal and buy. They're going to first do their own diligence. because we live in a world of what I call scams. Everyone's nervous that it's a scam. So if you're going to be in the virtual world, you have to have what I call virtual credibility. You got to look legit. And that means when someone sees your ad, they're going to want to click back to your Facebook business page. And, you can't have created it yesterday. It's got to look good. And I'll go into this in more detail as we move forward here. But my point is when you do advertisements, whether it's Facebook, whether it's email marketing, whether you're cold calling people, the consumer now is going to background check you. And they're going to check out and make sure you're legit. And the pieces to the puzzle that are going to help you are having an agency website, having a Facebook business page, an Instagram page, a LinkedIn page that look good, that look respectable, that are active. And you would be surprised how many producers have called me up and said, well, these things don't work. And I go through the checklist with them, and usually, do you have a website? No. Do you have a Facebook business page? No. When was the last time you updated your LinkedIn page? I don't know, 10 years ago. And you start to see why they're struggling, why they're failing. And I think the point of today's presentation is that, Bill was dead on. These are costs of doing business now. There's no escape. Having a website is not a gimmick. It's a requirement. I always use the contractor example. I just redid my kitchen probably 2 years ago and redid my bathrooms, 4 years ago. And, I don't mean to get off topic, but what does everyone think about contractors, right? I would say that the overall consensus is you're nervous that this contractor is going to start the job and not finish it, and maybe you're going to lose some money. That's always the fear, right? Everyone's nervous. So, I guess my point is when I brought in contractors, number one, I got a referral from a local friend. Number two, I did my own diligence. I kind of Googled this person. I made sure that they were legitimate. They had insurance. They even had websites, which made me feel so much better. To me, it showed that they were investing in their business, that they were going to be doing this for the long haul. And I guess my point is as time has gone on here, it's not just about contractors. It's about everyone in business, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a CFP, whether you're an insurance agent, whether you own a restaurant. The consumer wants to make sure that you're in this for the long haul and that you're legitimate. And having a website, having a social media presence, these are, like I said, these aren't gimmicks anymore. These are important pieces to the puzzle. So that being said, how do we move forward and be productive? And I think the first thing I try to explain to everyone is I say, look, yes, there's many pieces to the puzzle. Some pieces are bigger than the others. And in my opinion, having an agency website is the biggest piece. I remember 2003, producers were coming to me saying, I've woken up. I need to have this now. Obviously, those guys were the best of the best, the smart guys who figured it out early. And I'm sure that everyone I built a website for in 2003, if they're still in business, they still have websites. There's no doubt. They probably have a few of them. And my point is your website becomes the place where everything is organized, right? A good agency website, it has buttons to your social media presence. It has links to your Insure Me Now direct portal. Maybe if you sell other products like Medicare and health insurance, there's buttons to that too. If you use something like Calendarly or some sort of scheduling software, there's a button to it. If people need to fill out a life insurance questionnaire so that you can obtain all the info to really shop the market, you got a form on your site. Or if you sell Medicare and you got to get their drug information, you got a form. If you're going to do a Zoom sharing session, you have a button there. So here's an example of kind of what I'm talking about. It's about having kind of this overview that lets people know who you are and how you can help them. And this is an example of one of my clients. He's a Levinson broker. You can see he's gone and made an actual video that someone can watch right on the home page. But more importantly, everything I mentioned in the upper right-hand corner, here are all his pages. He's got a Facebook page, a LinkedIn page, an Instagram page, a YouTube page, a Twitter page. If somebody wants to schedule a meeting with them, they click here to schedule a meeting. They go right into his calendar service and they can schedule a time, pick a day and immediately set up a meeting with him. They can go into the shop section and click shop online for insurance. There, first button, life insurance. go right into the Insure Me Now direct portal and shop for life insurance. But if they have to go quote, shop for health insurance, they can go into his Health Sherpa portal. So my point is that this is usually the biggest piece missing, especially for producers just getting started. When you're just getting started, your first concern is, I got to get leads. Well, the problem is when you start to do advertising and you start to cold call or you start to do email marketing, the people that you're trying to get to become leads, they're desperate to learn more about you. And without having that base website, it's hard to get to the next level. And you eventually burn out and usually give up. So again, I can't stress enough that step one is to kind of have that base website. All of us have it. Obviously, Levinson has it. They've probably had it for 25 years. That's where you build off of. And that's what Bill was kind of saying initially. He said, look, this is a marathon approach. You got to build the foundation. Having your website, that's where it starts. The next step is that you want to try to drive people to your website. And that's where social media comes in. Think of social media as being, I guess the best way to put it is it's a place where people can see that you're alive, right? That you're doing things, that you're expressing your expertise. And the problem I see, again, with so many producers, yes, they'll create a Facebook page or they'll create an Instagram page or a LinkedIn page, but then they kind of, they'll go in, they'll post for a day or two, and then they forget about it for like 6 months. And when the consumer goes and looks at it, it just looks bad. It looks dead. It shows that agent is not committed, that they're not active. And the number one question I always get from my clients is they'll say, okay, Ken, what should I be doing on social media? Should I be soliciting every day? Should I be educating every day? And what I always stress is look, social media is really pretty simple. There's only 2 things you have to do. Number one, you got to worry about getting people to connect with you and to follow you. Once they connect with you, when you do a post, they see it. Okay, so step one, build up distribution. Get as many people as possible to follow your pages. I don't care if it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of them are good. Then the next step is you want to drip on these people. And this is kind of what Bill was talking about. He said, look, it's about consistently dripping on people. And in my opinion, what you want to do is you want to post educational content. And that shows that you're the guru. It shows that you're not soliciting people and being aggressive. That's for the advertising, the pay advertising. It's a totally different level. It's a totally different thing. So here's kind of a quick, just simple sample of one of my clients. And you can kind of get a sense. And this is, again, not maybe the best example because it's more Medicare. But you can see that every day she's kind of posting little tips about open enrollment and, what does this mean with life insurance? And my point is if somebody was referred to her and somebody was doing a background check, they're going to feel really good that she knows what she's talking about. And in my opinion, again, all part of the same puzzle. You start to do things, the consumer reacts. Okay, I got this great advertisement from this producer. Let me go see if they're legit. They're talking a big game about saving me money and being experts. Well, your social media presence, if you've gone in and put in the time and you've been consistent and you've posted content every day, it's going to back up the marketing you're doing. And again, this takes time. This takes a little bit of effort. This takes a little bit of thought process. But this is where we're at right now in 2020. It's becoming more and more competitive out there. It's not just about having a brick and mortar office on Main Street and hoping people walk in the door. Yes, I get it. There are some people that still have that luxury. But for most of us who are grinding it out every day, we have to generate stuff on our own. And the best way to do that is through referrals. And the best way to generate referrals is to get exposure to your expertise, to have a social media presence where you're connecting with as many people as you physically can, and to just drip on them free educational content and ideas with the products you sell. Eventually, as we all know, a consumer enters what I call an alarm clock stage, where the alarm clock goes off in their head and they say, uh-oh, I need somebody who can help me with this stuff because I don't know what I'm talking about. And for everyone on today's call, these moments, right? If it's life insurance, it usually has to do with someone having a child or buying a house, or maybe someone they love has died and it scares them. With Medicare, obviously when you're turning 65, you have no choice. You need the product. Who can help me? So my point is, the more dripping, the more exposure, the more you're getting out there, the more likely when these people have alarm clock moments, their friends who you're connected to on social media say, you got to talk to Sarah. She's the life insurance expert. Talk to her. And, it takes a little time. There's no magic involved here. A lot of it, this is just grit and hard work. But my point is you have to have the understanding of how to put all these things together to build on it. Just like Bill said, you got to build on it and put time in. Once you have those things in place, then you can be a little bit more aggressive. I think that the number one question I always get from my clients is, gosh, how do I get more traffic to my website? Why does it feel so hard? And the first thing I say to them is, look, you need to have excuses to send people to your site. In 2020, or maybe 2021 as we approach it, you want to get away from the habit of emailing people things. People get so many emails today, it's likely your email might go to spam. So that's one of the things I work on with a lot of my clients. I tell them, look, okay, what do you email people every day? And a lot of times they'll say, well, I'm emailing them a link to schedule a meeting, or I'm emailing them my Insure Me Now direct link, or I'm emailing them this form that they have to fill out. And I say, well, why? Why are you emailing them that? Just send them an email to your web address or verbalize it to them. Hey, go to my website. If you want to schedule a meeting, click on the schedule a meeting button. Or here, go into my shop online page and you can shop for all my products right off it. You don't want to be sending people PDFs. Those PDFs should be on your website. And I guess my point is that starts the pattern, that starts the concept of having excuses to send people to your site. If in my opinion, everyone, the key to success is generating referrals and having really good retention. Everyone I've ever met in the insurance business that made a lot of money, those were their foundational principles. And, retention equals referrals, and referrals to some extent equals retention. So what I'm trying to say is your website, it should be your best buddy. You should have customer service tools on there. Like I said, if someone needs to fill out a life insurance questionnaire, it should be on your site. If someone's trying to shop online, it should be on your site. If you're selling auto insurance and they need to file a claim, it should be on your site. They should be able to do it there. If you're trying to teach people what an annuity is or what an IUL is, make a video, put it on your site. They'll watch the video and then they'll probably end up going to the testimonials page on your site to see that you're even more credible. So in my opinion, that's the main thing. And it's not easy. Everyone wants to say, oh, I just want to rely on SEO. I just want to be number one if someone types in Texas life insurance. Well, in my opinion, good luck to you. Go ahead and do some research right now. Everyone on today's call, go to Google, type in Texas life insurance. You'll go through the first 3 or 4 pages of Google. There's not one independent agent on there. It's all massive insurance carriers. It's all massive, lead gen companies. My point is it's not practical. So I'm a big believer. I'm an entrepreneur just like you. What is practical? And what's practical is having excuses for sending people to the site, using advertising and doing marketing. I'm sure the guys at Levinson, Bill and Andrew can tell you about a dozen different advertising tools they have, whether it's email marketing, whether it's their lead programs. All of these things you should be considering. And in my opinion, your website becomes the base of where all this advertising sends people to. Obviously, doing Facebook ads, there's a lot of results to be had. But on the flip side, you have to think out what you're doing. And like I said at the beginning of the presentation, I do a lot of consulting on Facebook advertising. And the first thing I always ask people is what's the game plan here? Who's the target market? Why are they going to be interested in your service? You have to have some components in place to get results. More importantly, consistent results. That's what we're all after, because consistency equals retention and referrals. Just kind of trying to hit a home run out of nowhere is probably likely a waste of money and time. So the keys to success are understanding that the consumer is very educated today, and they're scared that everything is a scam. You know, I hate to say it. Like I said, I've grown up in this insurance business. I've been in this business over 20 years, and you know, there's obviously a lot of really good people. The sad thing is, there's a few bad people, and these bad people have ruined it for a lot of us, and they've ruined our reputation. So again, I'm not trying to be negative here, but I'm trying to be realistic. And what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of consumers out there when they hear the word, hey, just talk to this local insurance agent, they're kind of going, I don't know if I trust this guy. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable with this. So my point is it's our job to project ourselves as the experts, the best of the best, the Tiffany of insurance professionals. And the easy way to do that without getting to go play golf with somebody for 4 hours is to kind of have that web presence, the website, the social media, all these components in place that are showing you're very committed, that you've invested in your business, that you care about your business. And more importantly, you know, with the social media, by posting good educational content, that you're here to share your knowledge and to show people, hey, I know this stuff so well that I'm just kind of, you know, it's just coming at me kind of things. Anyway, the better all of these things are put together, the better that your marketing is going to perform. And again, I'll go right back to the first thing I said. That's been the common theme this year with people that have been struggling. They are trying. They're trying to do marketing, but they're not getting any results. And they're blaming the marketing. They're saying Facebook doesn't work. Trust me, Facebook works. You see the stock price? It's working. The results are there. But it's complicated. And like I said, there's a few pieces to the puzzle that have to be in place before you're going to convert. Having a website, having a social media presence, these aren't gimmicks. These are the basic tools that every company, whether you sell insurance, whether you're a lawyer, whether you own the local bagel store, you need to have these things. And they're not going away. They're becoming more important by the second. And I think the best thing I can suggest is have that kind of marathon mentality. Have that gym rat mentality. Every day you got to wake up, you got to work on these things. Not all day, but a little bit. And if you do that in the long run, you're going to have an advantage over the guys who aren't. So that being said, I'm going to kind of, obviously there might be some questions coming in. Feel free to type them in. Just to kind of review, again, what I do is I have a company that works specifically with independent agents, and we offer a website design service. We offer a social media content posting service. And as a Levinson producer, you can get special pricing on this. You know, I try to make it easy for everybody, and I try to talk it out in an entrepreneurial way. Basically, the way we work is, you know, if you're interested, go to the levinson.snoozy.net site. Take a look at it. I have some samples on there. I have little videos that review how we can help you. But at the end of the day, what I do is I interview you. I learn about how you run your business, what your product focus is, and together we kind of put together a website just like that sample I showed you, that kind of incorporates all the pieces to the puzzle. We'll certainly get you set up with social media. We'll do that daily posting for you. And that's going to put you in a position to go back to Levinson and to utilize a lot of their marketing tools to drive people there to convert them. And I think it helps put the puzzle together a little bit more efficiently. So anyway, I'll kind of end this in a second here, but my last thing is you know, if that interests you, go to levinson.snoozy.net. Look around, and if you'd like to chat with me, just click on the I'm interested next step button, fill out that form, and I'll reach out for kind of like a 15-minute free consultation. We'll talk about where you're at, and if I can help you, absolutely. I will, you know, give you my ideas, and we'll see if it's a fit. So that being said, I appreciate everyone's time. I'm going to bring the Levinson guys back on here, and we'll go from there.
Kent, that was awesome, Ken. Great job. Lots of value add there, and I hope you wrote down some notes for ideas. So I'm going to talk about just a few more things, and then Andrew is going to show you some new technology, some new blasts, some new marketing ideas that you can start to use as early as today. Okay, so great stuff to come. And then, of course, question of the day right before wrapping up. So make sure you're paying attention. All right, real quick. You know, and what Ken said is so True. It's like, the gym rat concept, right? It's like every day and every way. It's the same thing with your marketing approach. And this is the way I teach all the marketers here at Levinson. We now have, what, 7, 8 marketers, okay? And I tell everyone, let's say we get like a good testimonial in, or maybe a hot new product update, whatever it is, it's the 4-prong approach. Okay. So, hey, Bill, guess what? Michael Smith just said that we're the best and he loves working with us. Great. 4-prong approach. What does that mean? Website, number 1. Social media, number 2. Mobile app, number 3. eBlast, number 4. Okay. So you take whatever it is, and it's not hard. Once you get the concept down, it's not difficult, especially if you have a son or daughter, grandchild, or an assistant, admin assistant, whatever it is helping you. You do the same thing. Great new product update, 4-prong approach. That's it. You get it out there to the masses. Even if 5 people are watching you, it's okay, because the 5 turns into 20, okay, and then 100, and then it just keeps going. It's this is also important. It's like when you, let's say, call back a prospect or a client or lead, right? You're not just going to call and say, oh, I didn't get anyone, I left a voicemail, okay? No, you're going to, yes, call, yes, leave a voicemail, and then you need to send an email in case they missed the voicemail. Then you need to set a follow-up to see what's going on in another week, and then you start the same cycle all over again. It's the same kind of thinking. It's just in today's new world, right? Same thing for marketing your brand, getting your message out there. All right, now, to get your message out there, you need some spicy bullets, some good content, okay? And that's where we are here to help, and that's what we've created. So just a few things I'm going to mention and some new stuff here I want to touch on. So InsureMe Now Direct, okay, we're getting a lot of buzz right now, okay, not just for agents that want to market this, but for associations, small businesses, right? And there's a lot of competitors out there, okay? One is this Ethos, one is Bestow, and they're now doing exactly what Levinson started doing 5 years ago with Lightning Term. They're saying, hey, we have this direct-to-consumer product, and they're marketing it to agents. What they're not telling you all is there's no agent commission being paid. In fact, you're not even the agent of record. All it is a referral to the company, okay? So ask the questions when you're seeing this marketing. It's so important, okay? In fact, you don't even have to be a licensed agent because they're just giving you a referral fee, and then the agent at this company is handling everything. So anyway, just make sure you ask the questions. Speaking of our InsureMe Now Direct, I think this is huge. This is a game changer. So by now, you're aware we have this instant decision, 100% client-driven term to $500,000, okay? Now, starting in February, March, so quarter 1 of 2021, we are raising the max issuable amount to $3 million, okay? And premiums are going way down on the existing product, okay? So you're going to see anywhere from 10 to 45% discounts on the premium, and we're raising the max issue amount from 500 to 3 million. So this is awesome. So remember what I said, you have to come up with a spicy message. So you can go out to the market now and say, hey, you don't even have to sit down with me face to face or jump on a Zoom meeting. Here, click this link at 2 a.m., run a quote, sign up online, get approved instantly, print and save your policy, all within 7 minutes. And by the way, your premium isn't 30% higher than everyone else. No, it's just as competitive as a fully underwritten product. So this is how you need to think. Now, Sage Scholarship Program comes free with all of those products on the left side, except the dental vision. Okay, so another spicy bullet that you should get out there. Okay? All you're saying is free scholarship. Literally free scholarship, if you set an appointment with me and you don't even buy a policy because you're going to give them the $500 gift card. And then if they buy, they get the 1 year free. for little Johnny or little Susie, right? Or the grandkids, whatever the case is. You just have to get creative and get the message out there. Remember my friend that owns Lunar Land? Okay. He got creative. He got his message out there. He's selling a piece of paper. I know you all can do this. Okay. It's just time to get scrappy. Okay. Anyway, Insure Me Now Direct, client picks the product. They run a quote in the middle. Right side will tell the client exactly what's available for that state and client. Let's move forward, Andrew. Okay, so real quick, it's all very, very simple, user-friendly, because that's the name of the game. This is also compatible on our mobile app or any consumer's mobile app, okay? Very easy to use, because if it's not easy, the client's going to stop moving forward, and you might lose the prospect, okay? So very simple. This screen in front of you right now, it will tell the client what and by the way, you can also do this with a client on the phone. Okay, or again, they can log in at 3 a.m. onto your website. But these are the products that come up. This will tell the client exactly what the rate is, what riders are available, and then, Andrew, done. Now, here is the key, okay? The next slide here talks about how to drive traffic back to your website, back to your social media pages. So these are 3 videos that we already put together for you. They're done, okay? And if you want to take a look, they're all on our website. We'll include all 3 in today's thank you email. And by the way, if you're active with us, these are free. And we will co-brand these with your name, picture, email, phone number, and logo if you want, okay? They're already done. One is Insure Me Now Direct for the consumer. If you want to recruit agents, we have another one just for recruiting agents. Number 3, it talks about the new kind of life insurance that pays while you're still alive using living benefits. Okay, that's a huge hook for driving traffic back to your site or social media pages, right? That creates the leads. These are already done. They're free. No more excuses. If Lunar Land can do it, you all can do it, okay? Andrew? Next slide. Now I want Andrew to take the wheel, and he's going to show you how to start e-blasting and share some real-life agent success stories with you all. Andrew, take it from here, bud.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. And I want to piggyback on what Bill and Ken have said, and it's all, as we've said, it's very true. And I talk to agents a lot every single day. We all do here at the Levinson home office, and get a lot of feedback from what's hot, what's not. And I will start real quickly. They'll back up one of those videos. I have an agent who recruits. He has his own agency. He has used that video. It's on a loop on Facebook. He does ads, and he's been getting agents and sending them to us for months, putting them in his hierarchy and getting an override. It is that simple. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's, turn it on and you're a millionaire overnight. But what I'm telling you is if you use the videos and the data and the stuff that we're putting together for you, and you think of intuitive, unique ways of posting that and putting it in the right hands and getting it to the right audiences, you can see results. It is very possible. And so we hear that all the time by agents calling in and telling us. So also here on the screen in front of you, I do want to quickly dive into the Agency Automator CRM. This is one of these legs that we were talking about. Yes, you have your website. Yes, you have your social media presence, but now you have to start drip marketing to your prospects, the ones that you have talked to in the past, but maybe you didn't buy, like your neighbor, or maybe it was a lead that you called, never made contact. Most sales are made between the 5th and 12th contact. That's a LIMRA statistic that stuck with me over the years, and it's probably more true now than it ever was. So you have to get involved. It's really not an option. Just like Ken said, it's not an option. It's a cost of business. We have done the work for you and put we have millions of prospects waiting in this database to target, as well as your own clients. In addition to, we have thousands of templates. If you look at the screen here, I posted an example for you. We have some templates. You can go in and grab Insure Me Now Direct templates, grab IUL retirement income templates. We just added, I'll move to the next screen here. We just added new templates for the Mary Reed distribution solution as well. So think about this for a second. You want to sell those big cases, those big tickets for $100,000 plus the target premium. We actually had an agent recently sell a large case by leveraging the distribution solution strategy and sending out a pre-approach letter. Well, we then took that letter and added it into Insure Me Now Direct, into Agency Automator. So you can actually go and grab that pre-approach letter and put your name and logo on it. It's co-branded, and send it off to all your prospects discussing the benefits of the distribution solution strategy and to book an appointment with you. Then you can track the clicks, the opens, the drives to your website. It's like that. It's clockwork. So definitely, folks, set this up. Utilize our tools. It's there for you. But e-blasting, as I mentioned, is a core component to your marketing. It shouldn't be the only thing, but it should be a core component to your marketing. Also, real quick, I won't spend a lot of time here, but AssureWorks is a benefit. It's a tool that you can use as being an Agency Automator user. So if you're involved with us using Agency Automator, you have access to this. It's an optional plugin, okay? So basically the way this works is you can target market your prospects online using Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engines your customers use. And Ken was mentioning SEO. It's very expensive and it's very hard to get to the top of the list. But what they don't tell you is there's ad space on the sides of the page, on the bottom, the corners. That's where you can be. So if you buy AssureWorks for $60 a month, every time somebody searches insurance in that zip code, your banner ad can come up on the corner of the page. Okay, so think about that. It's going to travel with that client. Amazon does this very, very well. So I won't spend any more time here, but contact us if you want more information. This is a very powerful tool that you can use that's very inexpensive compared to what it can do for you. Also, here's a quick snapshot of our digital resources platform on the Levinson & Associates website. You go into the marketing tab, you'll see it there. This is the game plan, right? This is what Ken was stressing to you for the last 30 minutes. Here's your roadmap. Build your website. We have 3 options for you. You want a social media game plan? We have different packages available to you from Ken and from some of our other opportunities. And we have social media coaching with Ken as well, which you can book right there. And on the right side, we have our digital marketing solutions. We have our Gary V trainings where Bill interviewed Gary. And then we also have all of our Agency Automator tips, tricks, training videos, and much more. So you got to get involved and go to our website, check this out, and you'll be able to sign up from that point. Lastly here, I'm just going to show you again, here's the discounted pricing that Ken provides to all of our agents. You do have to be licensed with us, and then you get the special discounted pricing of $59.99, or you can do his elite package, which is the website and social media marketing for you at $99 a month. On the right side is our custom ads manager. So this individual is slightly more expensive, right? But he will customize different campaigns. He'll actually consult with you. It's a little bit more hands-on. It's more custom. We can discuss that, and Bill can set up a consult for you if you're interested. Let us know as soon as you can. I'm going to go ahead and get it back to Bill, and these are some door opener and lead generating tools that you can use.
Okay, good stuff, Andrew. So, like I said, probably 6 times now, it's up to you now to come up with these spicy messages, right? To create the reaction, right? Or the call or the email or the direct message or PM. So these are great options for you all. Sage Scholarship, I went over that. Legacy Armor, the online safe deposit box, right? And it's free to get started. You have your own dashboard set up with your name and logo. Legacy Safeguard, brilliant for anyone working the senior market. That's a turnkey last wishes platform that allows you to go over everything from A to Z when it comes to final expense burial insurance with the consumer, okay? And it's a free kit you give to every client that buys from you. The Gerber Grow Up Plan and Guaranteed Issue Whole Life product comes with 1 year free scholarship, and it's 100% direct to consumer through your InsureMe Now direct site. So these are different things you can use to generate the sizzle. Okay, moving forward. Real quick, we came out with a social media tip of the month. So every single month, we have a new creative marketing idea for you all. Go to our website. In fact, we're going to also include this in the thank you email. You can see we have 4 versions already. We just came out with the latest. Check that out when you get a chance. And again, it's just about you learning and putting your right foot forward to get creative and scrappy. That's it. That's the name of the game, and we're here to help. All right, incentives. So real quick, if you write an application, right? If you get appointed and write an app with any one of these carriers, right-hand side, you get $100 cash. That simple. It's our little way of saying thank you and supporting you all through this pandemic. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 5 or 7 or 9. Okay, so we're going to give you $100 or $900. So as many as you write, as long as it's with a new carrier, you're in. That's simple. Okay, moving forward here, these are upcoming agent training events. Just a few on the bottom if you want to learn more, which I hope you do. Legacy Armor, and then we have the whole life sales concepts on the 19th, and then a complete final expense experience overview. That's what I went over in the very beginning. That's on December 3rd. That has our new built-in underwriting engine and quote engine. So that's a game changer within itself. You're going to love. So make sure you're on that training December 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Very excited about that. Right now, we're going to have our question of the day, and I know we're about a minute or two over. Before I do, it also happens to be Positive Tuesday, which we all love and means absolutely nothing, but it doesn't matter because this is our way of getting our name out there, right? We've been doing it for 4 years and never missed one Tuesday. Why? Because it's about consistency and persistence. That's the name of the game. And you don't have to listen to what I'm saying. Just watch what we do. Follow our footsteps. Don't ever forget that you are the author of your own book. And sometimes you have to start a new chapter. It's all about new beginnings. Love that quote. And now make sure your little fingers are on your keyboard and you're ready to go. The question of the day, I talked about my friend Peter's company. What is the name of his company? I went over the story 2 or 3 times. You tell me the name of his company that was created from nothing with nothing, that now is a 6-digit company and growing every single year. Tell me the name, you win $50 Amazon gift card. Andrew, do we have the winner?
Yes, we do, and we have a lot of right answers. So good job, everybody. Got like 100 answers came in at the same time.
Who was first, Andrew? Who was first?
First, we have Alfreda A. Alfreda A. from Florida is the first to answer correctly.
Alfreda A. from Florida, congratulations. The answer was Lunar Land. Okay, check out the website. That was a true story and an example that we can all do this, okay? We're providing so much value here. It's just up to us to get the word out through all of these great tools. That's simple. Have a great Positive Tuesday, a great week, good selling, and thank you again.